All right, everyone, we are live. I think so. Yeah, everything's looking good. Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and every Monday through Friday, we get together right here on YouTube and we live stream the process of working towards building a business that is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And of course, that business that we're building is Pixel, and it is a WEBFLOW component and template library. And we are heavily focused right now on basically adding educational content to our company, and we're specifically going to make educational materials that are going to focus on people that are new to websites and web development, that want to get the skills in order to be able to learn how to build websites for themselves, whether they just want to build it because they have a company, they want to have their own website, they don't have very much money, or maybe more ideally, we're going to look for people that want to start their own career in the web industry, whether they want to get a job or get a better job as a web designer or developer, or if they want to freelance like me and start their own company. So that's what we're doing. And today I figured it'd be a good idea to kind of sit down and kind of go back to what we were doing a little bit before and figuring out all the different video ideas that we can just basically make a list of all the different videos that we could produce here over the next couple months to really help us, hit the ground running, I guess you can say, with all the videos that we want to produce for our website. So I figured what we can do is, because obviously if you look here, I want to zoom in on this page here. Let's close this one down. So I have already created, let me move my face here out of the way a little bit. We don't need to see the computer details. Okay, so can we make this bigger? Looks like we can't. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Okay, so we already created a bunch of ideas here in our Asana project, but those were ideas that we made a little bit before we had narrowed down what our target market was going to be. And again, let me just bring it up here just to refresh ourselves and to keep this, top of mind. We have, I think it's here. If it'll load up here. This is our ideal customer. I guess we could even probably flesh this out a little bit more of what we think our ideal customer is going to be. But basically somebody that has 0 to 2 years experience in web design. And so they're basically a beginner. And what they're looking for is they want to learn about WEBFLOW. They want to learn how to build websites. They need to know the fundamentals of what makes for a good designer. So teaching them the fundamentals that they need to know, knowing CSS, knowing HTML, knowing, just proper markup, things like that. And then of course, how they can use that skills in order to get customers and start making some money. And then we can talk a little bit too about, pricing and stuff like that. Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh, that sucks. Eric, how's it going? Haven't heard your name in a long time. How you been, man? Good to see you. Path to giving away $1 million on Contestly. Yeah, man, I've never stopped thinking about all that stuff that we're doing with giving it away in Contestly, and it's definitely still on my mind because one of these days I'm still going to figure out how to give away $1 million. But I think one thing that I've learned is probably the easiest way for me to do that is to figure out how to just make $1 million, and then I could figure out how to give it away. But I think Mr. Beast beat me to it though, because that's kind of the idea of where I was trying to head towards in order to make good videos that people would want to watch. And then you could use that to get ad revenue. And then you could just turn around and put that back into the videos. And in my case, it'd be putting it back to giving things away and having prizes and such like that. But he obviously did a much better job than I did at making that work. So, but anyways, how you been? Good to see you. And welcome. So is my stream still running? It just says it's not maintaining enough data, but everything looks like it's going good. Strange. Never seen this happen before. Let me try. Let me just look on my phone here. Before I get going here. Oh, Kevin, how's it going, man? Yeah, it's running. Okay, good. Oh, that's good. All right. So I won't worry about trying to look at things, but I'm just getting things here on my stream that says error, not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's annoying, but okay. Maybe it'll fix itself. I don't know. Anyways, okay. So, right. Now I'm going to start thinking about giving it away again. I had a lot of fun doing that, though. That was so much fun. So much fun. And we'll that's into the future, but we'll get back to that at some point. I'm almost positive about that. Okay. So, right. So we have our avatar. So that's the customer that we're trying to reach towards. And now what do we want to do? Yeah. So we want to make videos for them. So let's use chat. I mean, I don't really like to start with ChatGPT here because we already have some pretty good ideas, but let's just see if it can give us a good starting framework. And then I guess it's kind of important to learn how to use this tool as efficiently as possible because whether we like AI or not, it's pretty important, especially here in the internet space. So, and on the web. So it's kind of important to learn how to make good prompts and stuff. So let's just see what we can say. So hi. I mean, I don't have to start with hi, but I don't know, proper manners, I guess. Hi. I'm looking to create engaging videos for my target audience. I'm looking to target people that are new to web design and development. Yeah, it's much different than putting into a prompt into Google. I think the more information you can give it, the better results you'll get. I'm looking to target people that are new to web design and development, that want to learn how to, one, get better skills, and two, improve upon their skills so they can either get a better paying job or start their own freelance / creative business. Okay. I would like each video to focus specifically on one topic that my audience will find very useful / valuable. Hang on. Brent, how's it going? Good to see you, man. What helps me when using ChatGPT, starting with something like, today, you're a world-class YouTuber analyst who deeply understands the web design and development space. Interesting. Okay. So are you finding that really helps in your, like when you make that as a prompt, that really helps in terms of how it displays the information? I mean, I guess so, because that's why you're saying it. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, I'll try something like that. I would like to, okay. I would like, like you to give me suggestions on 50. Well, let's go for 20 for now. On 20 video ideas. And let's see, I would like you to answer as if you are an expert at that you have an expert understanding of the YouTube algorithm, that you you understand human, how do you spell psychology? Human psychology. Oh, that's not spelled correctly at all. It's like the one word I can never spell. That you understand human psychology and what makes for highly engaging videos, and that you are an expert at web design and WEBFLOW. All right, let's see what we get. Interesting. So it's funny because I was saying think of one topic at a time, and then it says something here, mastering CSS grid and flexbox for advanced layouts. Like, to me, that right there would almost be at least a minimum of 3 different videos, because you can talk about CSS grid, then you could talk about flexbox, but then you could have layouts. I guess you can do multiple videos on multiple different on the same topic, but just approaching it in different avenues. So there's never going to be a shortage of content to be able to write, to be able to teach people. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so let's see what else it's got. It's got some engagement tips. Okay, let's go from the start. And we'll have to compare this to, maybe we can open these both to the side here, and we can see. Again, it's okay. You know what? Maybe if I just reduce the size a little bit. Can I not show this? Right. Yeah, let's hide that column. Let's hide this column. Let's hide this column. Now I think we could extend it. No, we still can't extend it. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's annoying. Okay. All right. So, all right. Creating engaging videos for beginners in web design and development can be blah, 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 rewarding, targeting specific, blah, blah, blah. Here are 20 video ideas tailored, combining my understanding of the YouTube algorithm, human psychology, and web design expertise. Getting started with WEBFLOW, a beginner's guide. Essential. Okay. So I think I mean, limitations I found working with WEBFLOW. You blah, blah, blah. Getting started with WEBFLOW. Right. But forgetting about the colons. I mean, sometimes it's good. ChatGPT loves colons. I feel like if you have a colon in a title, it's like, that's like AI. AI generated it. Okay, I do like that. Obviously, we have that here. I wonder if we can sort it. I'd like to sort this probably through like most, like the best videos versus the not as best videos, not as good videos. Can't even say what I'm trying to say here. Just in order in terms of which ones I think will do the best or the worst. Okay, essential web design principles every beginner should know. Right, so core fundamentals. That's good. I like that. So let's talk about that. Core fundamentals of web design. And like every beginner should know. I like that. That's not bad. So okay, build your first website from scratch in WEBFLOW. So that's really good. Of course, we can do lots of stuff with putting it into pixel pieces and using our components and just using WEBFLOW in general. So I do like that. So like how to build your very first website or project in WEBFLOW. So that's kind of good. How to build your very first website in WEBFLOW. We've come at a point where you can easily recognize what has been written by AI and whatnot. At least that's what I'm experiencing. But the thing is, I guarantee you though, in like 2 years, maybe even less, maybe more. Actually, I have no idea how long. There's going to be a time where you're not going to be able to tell when something's written by AI. And that's when it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be scary so much, but it's going to be very interesting when you can't tell the difference. Because yeah, even with pictures, you can still tell some that are AI, but I've actually been fooled by some images that I thought were real that turned out to be AI. And I'm like, damn it. Especially for me, really loving photography and stuff, and seeing that I couldn't tell that an image was AI. That really kind of pissed me off. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, of course, the more you're around as well too, you can kind of pick up on its tendencies and how it kind of speaks. And I think it also depends on how well the person is engaging in the prompts, like within the AI, especially with ChatGPT or whatever. You say like, hey, I want you to spit this out, but maybe talk as if you are like a Roman general back in the whatever century and blah, 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 blah. And then you could get things that are maybe a little bit different. Do you think sometimes, or something like web design development will be replaced by AI? I've been thinking about that because it's like, well, I'm starting a business here. And I'm going to be trying to teach people how to do web stuff, web design. And then what if in 5 years, like this is not even going to be an industry? So am I on the wrong path? Like, is this something that's going to be replaced? So I've been thinking about that. And I think there's a couple things to note. Number one, I think if I'm always going to be worried about my industry going to be completely collapsed and being replaced by AI, then that's always going to be living in fear. And I don't think that's a great way to always approach things. That being said, I think it's important to look at trends and be wary of where things are going. So like, for example, if I was doing a business that was in like the newspaper industry or even like traditional media, I'd be like, okay, this industry has been in a steep decline for the past 10, 15 years because of technology. I think I need to pivot to somewhere else. So looking at the trends of how well WEBFLOW is doing and things like Framer and all these other no-code tools, it's just getting more and more prevalent. So I'm not too worried about that specifically for at least what I'm doing here with Pixel. But in terms of replacing web design, I think at some point it's going to replace a lot of people that are just mediocre at it and are just kind of okay. Because there's going to be a time where, like, you could even use Reloom Library now, and you could just say like, hey, just develop me a site with this framework, whatever, and it just puts together components and it just spits out like a generic looking website, right? So now if you just use AI to put a little bit of color or whatever into it and design a logo or what have you, you can spit out a site, no problem. And I think that's going to replace a lot of the people that service, the small business guy that wants a website, that wants to spend $500 or whatever. Yeah, I think those guys are going to be out of a job for sure. But when you're getting involved into really complex or more complex websites, or people that want something that's more custom or bespoke, depending on what it is they're trying to do, I think there's still going to be a place in the foreseeable future for those types of people. And I think with any technology, whenever it comes into place, who always loses out first? Who gets replaced, right? It's always the guys that, it's tough to say, or hard to say, but the ones that are a dime a dozen, right? Like when photography and the AI gets better and better at generating images, the photographers that are going to be left behind are going to be the ones that look like everybody else, the ones that don't stand up from the crowd, that aren't as good at the craft as, like what an AI can do, right? So in order to hedge your bets against technology, especially with AI, with web design, is to just try to get your skills up and be as good as possible and make yourself even more valuable than what an AI can be. So that's my thoughts on it, I guess. I don't know, it's a little long-winded, but it could be at the point where like AI can, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the extent of what AI can do and how well it could take over things. Building websites and having all kinds of different interactions, and especially when you're getting into just dynamic data and doing like passing data from cross sites and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think AI is still quite a bit of ways from being able to do that kind of stuff. But making just a simple static-ish website with 5 pages for a coffee shop, I think that's where those are the first things I think AI are going to replace. Yeah. Anyways. Right. What do you think? I'd like to know what you guys think. Like, because it's something that, that's just my opinion, and I could certainly be wrong, but there's just my thoughts on it. But Brent, Kevin, what do you guys think? Are you guys worried about AI coming down and replacing us? All right. Essential web principles everyone should know. Yeah, so I like that. Building your first website from scratch. Yeah, how to build your very first website in WEBFLOW. But I think we can also talk about how to build your very first website using only like HTML, CSS, and maybe some JavaScript as well there too. And a notepad. All right, just very, very simple. Get down to the basics. Understand HTML, understand CSS, and just so you can get down the fundamentals. Yeah, that's a really great point. It's stacking skills is like the best thing I think that you can do. It just makes you that much more valuable. Like for me, like when I started my career, I was in science and I was in biology, and then I went to do some hydrology stuff, and then I did some tech stuff and a lot of hands-on field work. And then I learned web design skills, and I learned web development skills, and then I learned data management stuff, and I just kept on stacking more skills. And then I found that whenever I would need to look for a job, like within like a week, I would have a bunch of interviews and job offers very, very quickly. And I think it's just because the breadth of skills that I've that I've collected, whatever, over the years. And even stuff like video editing and making videos and doing stuff with social media. Like it's all these skills that, they stack up upon each other, and they make it so that you're bigger than like the sum of just the parts, right? So very, very important to learn lots of different skills and to make yourself as valuable as you possibly can to your employer or to your client or whoever it is that you're trying to, do work with. Would say that the ones that don't utilize any form of AI would be replaced first. Yeah, it could be, unless you get those old school guys that are like, you know what, I still shoot film on, or I still shoot pictures on film, or that are just so old school that just have that certain type of look and feel in the art that they do, that people are still gonna be willing to pay for that. So, and that's where I think that when you really get to the point where you're a master of your craft, I don't think you have to worry about AI like at all. But that's, you're spending 10 years full time being the best at like that specific kind of thing too. And then that's also a little bit different than stacking skills, right? So it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I think, companies are starting to hire less people and more people that could potentially cover more jobs and more things done by utilizing AI. Yeah, I think a lot of people are realizing that some people are not necessary. If you can just use AI to automate like your initial responses to people that are emailing your company or whatever, and you can get through some kind of triage or arbitrage or whatever, just using AI, you can eliminate a lot of people. So it's a really good tool, and I think it's causing people to figure out how they could be more efficient in their workforce. And then I think people need to realize that they need to change their direction of the skills that they have in order to make sure that they can still be employable. I think you already responded to what I was saying before. Aiming towards the mediocre. Yeah, exactly. If you're mediocre, I mean, those are the people that AI are definitely going to replace first. AI. It's interesting times though. I mean, not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously there's the worry of Terminator, Skynet happening, or maybe humans too. Maybe humans they're the ones that are going to be do the most stupid things and start some kind of crazy conflict. But what can you do about that? Can't really worry about that on a day-to-day basis. Just got to keep going. Right. Understanding responsive design. Right. I think I have I'm sure I have something written about that here. But this is really funny. Like all these things too, I totally get this stuff, and they're really good. I feel like I know web design enough that none of these are really new to me. I hope I don't get surprised by any of these things, but oh man, that's a really good question. How it should be regulated. Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah. Yeah, geez, I don't even know. I don't even know how it should be regulated. I don't see. This is the thing too: is AI is only as good as it's being programmed to be It's only as good as it's been programmed to be, and like all that debauchery that happened with, was it Google Gemini or whatever, where it was just basically like a lot of the things were just really, really progressive, where he would ask it questions of like, hey, give me a picture of like a Nazi soldier in the 1930s or whatever. And then it would have like, it would just spit out like black people and like native people. And it's like, it was just like, it just couldn't, the way that it was programmed to be, it was just kind of ridiculous. And then if you think of AI being programmed in a way that can take stuff to some extremes, like, yeah, you wonder what it's going to do and what that's going to mean for society. And how do you regulate that? I don't know. I think the biggest problem too is it's not even so much the AI in terms of how it generates images and stuff like that, but it's really, I guess, if it gets to the point where it understands how to improve upon itself, which I mean, it does now, but if it gets to that point of, you know, the self-awareness or what have you, that's where I guess it could be really crazy. But should it be regulated? I don't know. I don't even know. Because it's not like regulating, you know, should like everyone in the world gets together and says, you know, we shouldn't be developing, you know, specific type of bioweapons as an example. But should there be the same thing for AI? Maybe it could be just as bad in terms of what it could do in terms of, you know, using it for warfare, destabilizing countries or whatever, cyber attacks. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It's crazy. It is crazy. Kevin, I think about Rayloom's AI generator and feels unless you're a WEBFLOW user already, it's not for you. Okay. So it helps those who are in the field, but not sure will replace just yet. Yeah, I think just yet. Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you on that part, because it is pretty like, it'll help you as someone who's using WEBFLOW right now, because you kind of already know how the components work and all that kind of stuff. So absolutely 100%. But I do think in 5 years, or maybe even less than that, you'll be able to use some type of generator like that, where you can say, I have a new shoe store that I am running, and I just want to create a page or a website that has these pages on it. And here are some images of my store. You just like upload your images to whatever the program is. And then you say, I want to have this kind of field or whatever for people when they hit my website. Here's my logo, or maybe even design a logo. And then here's my MailChimp account where I'm having my newsletters. Can you please create a site that has blah, 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 all those integrations? And then it just like spits it out. So that whenever that's built, hey, maybe Pixel could do something like that. Whenever that's built, that'll replace all the people that, you know, are just building websites for fun. And then that's maybe a little bit of a problem for me, because that's kind of the target people that I'm starting with right now, are people that are just learning web design and web development, right? So I do worry about that a little bit, because if that happens, then it's almost like, why even learn how to build websites unless you're super, super dedicated to being the best? So yeah, that's interesting. Don't you think creativity will die out eventually because of AI, since it's based on previous work? I don't know. Yeah, no, it does make sense of what you're saying. So here's one thing I was doing the other day with my family and the kids. We usually watch an episode or two of Star Trek. We're watching Star Trek Voyager right now, just because we've already watched The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine a couple times, so we're kind of only left with Voyager. Anyways, so after we finished an episode, we went on YouTube, and there's this guy who does shorts, and I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it's called. I should probably bring it up here. But it's all AI generated art, and it's things like where it says, here's the month, but if it was like a disease, or here is a country, but if it was a kaiju, or here's a solar system, but if it was like a demon or something like that. and it's all AI generated art. And the images that we saw in there were just like mind blowing. I was just like, it just looks like somebody is just doing a hyper realistic illustration kind of thing. So yeah, you've seen that before. So I look at that and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's inspiring. That's creative. You know, even though it is just a machine, it's still creative because it's a crazy work of art. And I was just thinking like some of these images, I'm like, you could take that and like spawn that into some kind of story or whatever. So I don't think it is going to die out on creativity. I think it might allow us even to explore creativity that we never thought were possible, because we can, like, even if you just use that to generate your own concept art of what you want to do, and then you could take that and use it, like you can just generate so many ideas so quickly without having to actually go and sketch it yourself or whatever, especially I'm thinking if you're like a concept artist or whatever. So I think it'll actually help, again, if it's used in the right way. So again, a tool is only as good as the person that's wielding it. And I guess maybe the comparison that I could kind of think about is all those chess programs or computer programs that do chess, that they've gone to the point now where they can easily just beat a human. So it's not that they're more creative, but they're just better at doing things than humans are. And I think it could potentially get to the point, even when you're talking about something that's creative, that a computer can get better than a human at being creative. It doesn't, like, it sounds like really kind of crappy when you think about it, but I think it's going to be possible. But I think it's a long ways away, because you get, ChatGPT or whatever to like create like a script for a movie, and it's just god awful. It's just garbage. But it'll get better and better, just like a human does, I guess. I don't know. That's just what I think. But it's very interesting. Yeah, maybe we'll all be out of jobs and we'll all be living on holodecks or something at some point, and then computers will just take care of our lives and pamper us for the rest of our days. If I was a kid growing up now, I would almost, it's tough to say because of where I am right now and the information that I have. But again, if I was like, 10 years old or whatever, and I was just coming up, I would seriously consider going into some type of physical trade where I want to learn how to build houses or do like wire up things, like just become an electrician or a plumber or something like that. And then I know that I could build a business around those kind of skills, where unless there's robots and androids or whatever that are created, humans are going to need that kind of labor to be able to build the things that we're going to need to build. And to build a business around that, I think is highly, highly lucrative. Even just people that repair basements or fix roofs. There's so many different things that you can do around manual labor, that those jobs are going to be in such demand, because everybody now, all the kids want to be a YouTuber or a TikTok star or whatever the hell it is. But nobody wants to be like, hey, I'm just going to be a plumber or whatever. It's like, I'll be a plumber if I could start my own business and, make 7 figures running a plumbing business. Why not? Why not? Anyways, you're not sitting down on a desk all day, which is kind of boring. Anyways. Again, that's also if I guess you're really worried about AI kind of taking over and taking away all the kind of tech jobs as well too. Okay, let's get back into this. Stories for videos. Maybe we'll do a video of that's actually an interesting topic. Maybe a video about like what the future of AI holds for the web design industry. That's actually really good, because I imagine people would be like, yeah, what is going to happen? What the future of AI holds for the web design industry. Something like that anyways. 100% agreed. Yeah, cool. Right on. Great minds think alike, right? All right. Actually, that would be really cool. It's almost like in a newspaper having like an opinion piece, though, because obviously you're not going to predict the future, but here's what I think. And I love it. Oh, it would be really cool if I was to think about what I was saying earlier about being able to use AI to be able to build websites. I would love to be able to figure out how to integrate all the different AIs together, because I know people have done this. Like integrate like Midjourney or whatever that does the images, and then the chat for the text, and whatever the hell it is that would integrate, say, for components or what have you, and just create an interface where you can type in your prompts and it generates a full-blown, also full working website as well too, so that I could integrate within your Zapier or whatever. It could set up Zaps, it could do all those kinds of things, and it could make like this whole no code just site like ready for you to go. I guess you would just have to give it your credentials or whatever, so it could just access, your different accounts. But that would be so cool. Like you give it your MailChimp, you give it your WEBFLOW, you give it your Zapier, you give it your Airtable, member stack, whatever, and you just put in your prompts, and it just makes everything right out. Just makes all the connections, just does it for you. That would be amazing. All right. Future Pixel. Maybe we'll build something like that. Okay. Responsive design. Yes, I'm sure I talked about responsive design before. I put it here, but let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't have anything. Interesting. Maybe we saw mobile first. We could just say even mobile first approach to building websites, or even just layouts. And then we could say, I mean, it's not even so much of a thing anymore. Back in the day, I remember it was like, oh, you got to be careful to make sure you're mobile responsive. But now it's like everything, most webs, well, I don't know if most, but so many people are browsing the internet on their phones now as opposed to an actual like desktop. So it's pretty standard place. But maybe it's not for some people. I don't know. So maybe I think of like three tips to easily make your site mobile responsive. I'm just thinking of some things that I know that I do in the back of my mind, or that I keep in the back of my mind when I'm working in WEBFLOW. Say understanding principles of responsive design and why it's important. Right. A great YouTube idea would be how to do creative strategy and outline that for a business. I feel like there are no resources on it. Looking for something like that myself. Creative strategy for what? So I'm trying to think about what exactly you mean by like a creative strategy. You mean do you mean trying to put together a strategy for how you're going to go ahead and build your business, or what type of creative work that your business should be catering to? So yeah, I'm just rereading it again here. So the one thing that does come to mind, so I think it would both. I think it would fit. I think that kind of stuff too. I think Chris Do, I mean, you probably heard of him. He speaks a lot about that stuff because his whole idea is talking about creative people in general and kind of pushing them down the way of how they can use their creativity to build a business around that. So he would probably be, so I would say he's probably the best resource for doing something like that or figuring that kind of stuff out. I know, like, I haven't purchased any of his products, but I've consumed a lot of his content in terms of watched his videos. So I think he has really good advice. And I know there's lots of stuff that he said that I've kind of incorporated into the stuff that I do. I think that would probably be more kind of his framework. But that being said, too, I think it is important to mention, and that's kind of part of my audience that I think I do want to capture, are people that, well, number one, they need to know, or the type of person would be someone that they don't know anything about web design, but they've kind of decided that that's what they want to do as a career, or they want to pursue that. It's like, hey, you know what? I want to learn how to be a web designer so I can start my own business. So having some kind of information, very, very early beginner type information on what it's like to run a creative agency or to offer creative services to clients, and how you use that to start a business. I think that would be really good. So let's see. Maybe how to understand or learn how to frame a business around your creative skills. Something like that. And so when you say creative direction, this is where I guess it's kind of, I guess it's a little hard to have, just conversation over typing. But when you say creative direction, right? Because you can talk about the creative direction of a specific project, but I guess you're talking maybe more about the creative direction of like the business, or then I guess it could also be the creative direction of yourself as an artist, right? So there's like 3 different things here, and there might even be more. But yeah, I think those all have way different approaches, right? Because if you're thinking about what creative direction you want to take yourself personally, well, I guess that does affect what kind of business you're going to offer. And of course, the different types of creativity services that you'll offer will definitely change even your whole business framework, or even your business, what's the word I'm looking for? What's that word about your whole business? Like how it operates and how it makes money. Oh shit. What the hell is that term? Oh, I'm killing myself. Oh my God. It's like your business framework. What the hell is the word for that? Yeah, business model. Yeah. You're like your revenue model. Yes, thank you. Oh my God. So brain fart. Yes, yeah. More so thinking about the creative direction for a company. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, business model. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you have to also match the right business model with the right creative services as well. So we can even just talk about the types of creative services business models. So I'll have to do a little bit more research for these types of videos. Types of creative services businesses. That you can use. Something that you can use. Oh, I missed this comment here. Especially towards the future, if we come back to the AI topic, I think creative directors will become more important. Yeah, so they can kind of guide the look and feel of whatever project is you're working on, especially if people are using AI to generate things. Having somebody like that to guide a project could be important. Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just trying to think now too, because I never even thought about that, how that would work, especially when you're dealing with much larger teams that do need to have some type of creative director associated with that kind of project. Interesting. Yeah, that's crazy. Lots of stuff to think about. Yeah, and that stuff is pushing. Yeah, limits of the unknown. At least it's pushing my limits of understanding in terms of how exactly like a larger team would interact with an AI. and how to use that in a creative fashion. That's fascinating. Fascinating. Okay. All right. Top trends. No, that's stupid. I don't like that. HTML, CSS. I could say something like easy methods to lay out an entire website. And we could talk about grid. We could talk about flex as well. We're using CSS, grid, and flexbox to make complex layouts. Yeah, because you can ask AI to spit out a web design, but there still needs to be a strategy behind it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, that's the thing too, is how would you train AI to do something like that? Again, you can either train it to do it, or when it gets to that level, yeah, having that kind of creative person to oversee what it is it's doing and what it's spitting out, and then how you can tweak it. Super, super important for sure. Yeah, a little stuff to think about. Yeah. We'll take it one step at a time, one day at a time. The first step is starting to make some YouTube videos and starting to get some customers to Pixel Pieces so we can bring in some revenue, bring on some people, expand the team, start doing more and more stuff, maybe hiring some developers to work on AI stuff. And then who knows? Who knows where we can go? Anyways, I'm excited. I think, I'm really pumped with the direction of Pixel and where things are going to go. And I think by Christmas time, by the end of the year, I think I'm going to be pretty happy with where we are. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near, bringing in 4,000 people in terms of customers to get to $1 million. But I think we're going to have kind of validated our product market fit. At least I'm hoping so anyways. And then we'll start going on the right path of growth. So looking forward to it. But yeah, getting these videos out and starting to promote ourselves and just trying to help and serve people, right? Try to help our target market. That's what it's all about. And if we can do that, then that'll be fantastic. SEO is that's a good thing, right? So how to use SEO tools in WEBFLOW to improve your site's performance. So there could be another thing of how to use analytics to guide so this is not so much for when you've designed a site, but it's for after a site is done, and especially if you're managing it for a client or even for yourself. What do you do with the information that analytics can give you? And there's obviously different types of analytics you can get. Next, to guide how you maintain/improve a website. Do you have any set KPIs for the end of the year? I haven't thought about that quite yet. Let me see. Let's see. What the hell is it called? Lean Canvas, right? Lean Canvas, Lean Stack, right? Sign in. Okay, this is not what I want. Can I get... Okay, here we go. So I did have some key metrics written down. Okay, so here's what I thought when I was working on my... whatever this thing's called. I can't remember what this is called here. This business plan or what have you. 100 customers by December 31st, 2024. So, and I think that would still be a great number, because that would be, I think that is $25,000. 100 customers times 250. Yeah, that'd be 25 grand. That would be amazing. If I can get 100 customers, that would be amazing. So this was not met, but it was met in terms of free customers, but I don't have a single paid customer yet, which is okay. I'm not worried about that just quite yet. I feel that it's going to take a couple months for things to get going with the videos. And then once that gets going, and then I start getting myself out there and doing whatever I need to do to just put stuff on the videos, talk to people, whether it's on Discord or Twitter or whatever, and just get myself out there. And it'll slowly but surely, it'll start to come together. And making sure my content is resonating again with the people, with the right people. That's what's going to be the most important thing, I think, anyways. Okay. So yeah, if I get to 100 people by the end of the year, that's a success. And so let me just, now I'm thinking about metrics here. So we're halfway through the year, right? Oh no, we're 5 months through. So we still got 7 months. 7 months times 30 days, that's 210 days divided by 100. So that's, not divided by 100, 100 divided by 2. So that's about half a person signing up a day on average. That's not too bad. Or like 3.5 people signing up. Or between 3 and 4 people signing up every week once we get going. Yeah, maybe it might be tough. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So how to use analytics? This is one. Yeah. So stuff like this, the how to use analytics, SEO, not very important to do right off the bat, because again, we're looking to just teach people how to use or how to build websites from not having very little knowledge. So these things, we're going to sprinkle them in there, but ideally we're going to focus most of our stuff, especially at the start, on like really basic stuff. And I always have to keep in mind that not everybody knows what I know in terms of web design, or they haven't been building websites for 20 years or what have you. All right. Create setting animations. You know what would be a good title? I think anyways. 3 like beautiful, stunning is a good word. Stunning animations in WEBFLOW that you can build in like 2 minutes, right? Like it's basically something that's so amazing, but yet super easy to do. Oh, this is actually really good. I'm just going to steal this one straight up. That's really good. I like it. So it could be like 5 tips, tricks to using WEBFLOW CMS. Well, actually, one thing that I've been working on with a client is in WEBFLOW, and this is a bigger site that has like has lots of different collection items and has lots of different static pages as well. And every once in a while, they'll ask me to take one part of the website and update it, but yet I need to stage it. So I need to put in staging, but at the same time, I need to continually still update and bring stuff live to other pages. So it becomes very difficult trying, like within WEBFLOW, it is anyways, like we don't have any Git or whatever, which would make it so much easier. But we don't have any of that stuff in WEBFLOW. It's just like you have your project and you could push to staging or production, and that's it. And if they get out of sync, it's kind of a nightmare. So basically, I'm trying to develop my own set of procedures in order to be able to easily work one WEBFLOW project and have a staging and live site and not really worry too much about things going out of sync. So that's definitely a much more advanced kind of thing, but something that I could probably think about doing. So let's say how to manage Let's say how to manage, let's say, complex websites. With I don't know how to say it. How do we say this? Managing, staging, and production. We'll just call it branches in complex and fast changing websites. Yeah, that's a horrible title, but something like that. Brent, interesting. I think you'll achieve that goal for sure. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I thought it's not too. I don't think it's too. Like 100 customers, right? That's not a lot. I think we can get there. It's not too grandiose of a goal, right? It's not something that's, hey, I want to get 5,000 customers by the end of the year. You know, it's maybe more grounded. I think it'll be difficult, but also realistic. But I think my goal too is I probably need to extrapolate how many free members I want to get. And I think I have a conversion rate of 10% in my mind. So I think that's what I had for the funnel. I think that's what we put in for a funnel. Let's take a quick look here. I think where's our funnel? Where is our funnel? Funnel. Here's our funnel. Right. Right. So our funnel, 10% of people that are on the free plan, we'll say 10% of them will go into the paid plan. So if I get 100 people at the paid plan, that means I probably want to have 1,000 people at the free plan. So you'll be looking at about 1,000 people in the free plan and 100 people on the paid plan. Which means if this is right, which I don't think even this is even correct in terms of my 1,000 visitors equals 100 members, I'm definitely going to be looking at probably at least 100,000 people visiting the website, like at least. So we'll have to figure out how to get that as well. A great video would be how to increase speed performance of your website. That's actually really good. Yeah, and I've actually been looking into that for one of my clients as well. So, images. Yeah, just like using WebP and stuff like that. One good thing about WebFlow is that it kind of somewhat does that for you automatically, which is kind of nice. But yeah, optimizing is a huge thing. How to optimize a WebFlow website for top speed and performance. Right. And just inside here, I'll just put a note here. So you can think about fonts, you can think about images, you can think about videos. I guess, you could think about like custom code, maybe. I guess it depends. But yeah, just the basics, I guess, really is what we kind of want. You could just have, like lazy loads, depending on how much content there are. So yeah, cool. I like it. Looking for a great video on it as well. Most are outdated in another language. That sucks if it's not in not in the language you understand, for sure. That's one of the things that actually Mr. Beast does, which is phenomenal. Obviously you could learn so much from Mr. Beast, but he takes all of his videos and he has them translated, and he gets like celebrities and different, that could speak different languages that are popular in that language. Say someone who's really good in French or whatever, he gets somebody in from France or whatever the hell, whoever it is. And they just translate all of his websites or all of his videos. And then he has like Mr. Beast, French, Portugal, whatever, right? Or Portuguese or Spanish, whatever. So that's such a great idea, because how many people speak English and how many people speak other languages, right? So that's such a great way to without much effort to like take your existing content and blast it out to 80% of people that are automatically, because it just can't even speak English, can access your content. It's so, oh man, so good. Yeah, I heard that in a podcast. Yeah, I think he talked about that on Joe Rogan. I think that was the big one where Joe Rogan was like, oh, genius idea. It's like, yeah, that is genius. Yeah. Okay. So Brent, is there anything more specifically in terms of optimizing a website other than like what specifically about the website you'd want to optimize? It's, I'm talking about here, like there could be fonts, images, videos, any kind of code that you have. Again, I don't know how you can do this with WEBFLOW. I'll just have to research it. But obviously, if you're just writing something from code, it's like how many calls you're making to the database or whatever. With WEBFLOW, you can't really control that because I think it just does it how it does it. But I guess you could say like how many actual connections on a page you have to a collection. Or there's maybe different ways of how you create your collections on how that could reduce or increase performance. So anyways, if there's anything else that you can think of specifically that you'd like me to do a video on, just let me know. So preload and pre-connect fonts from Google Fonts, Adobe, custom fonts. Yeah. So fonts is a big thing. Preloading, custom, and just think, Google, Adobe. Right. I haven't figured out how to do it for your own fonts. For me right now, what I've done is I just use the Google fonts and I just put them in just as standard, and I don't do any kind of optimizing or anything like that for fonts. And background images. So that's a good thing. Yeah. Background images versus images that are actually like in line into the code, like in the, SRC or whatever. So yeah, lots of things. And I wonder too, like for a very simple static page, you might not see any performance improvements at all when you're tweaking these little things, whether something's a background image versus an image that's embedded. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. All right. Well, that'll be a good well-researched video. Lots of things to learn there. Because that's one of the things too. I do think, and I admit that as well too, that I'm not as versed as I probably should be. But those like technical details on like how fast a site loads and all those kinds of things are not really details that designers specifically are interested in, because they just want to make sure that it looks good, right? But you got to be careful, because just because it looks good also doesn't mean it's not usable. And that brings me to a really good point here when I'm thinking about that, is usability. So something like, again, I don't know exactly what this title is going to be, but don't sacrifice usability for something for, I'll just say like sexy design, right? That looks good, right? So yeah, super important. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. I found that trap so many times. It looks good. Yeah, well, it also makes the website load 3 times faster. Like, it's not good. Not good. Right. Okay. So shit, we're still even on point 11 here. I guess we're doing pretty good. From websites. Okay. Interesting. So we can, so how to turn a wireframe into a fully coded, well, I'm just trying to think now of the entire steps and the entire process from initial idea to final conception. So we could almost do something like that, from A to Z, all steps that a typical website goes through from idea to final product. Again, these aren't titles here, so don't chew me out on these, but just putting down ideas on what these videos would be. These are longer videos. Well, I mean, this would just be kind of talking about the different steps. So, yeah. Let's see. Another great one would be how to build an actual funnel using WEBFLOW. People mainly use something like ClickFunnels, but their designs are terrible. Not sure if it makes sense what I mean. Quite niche. So I guess what a funnel in terms of just like a landing page and actually getting someone to funnel onto your, like into your marketing campaign, or let me see, what is ClickFunnels? Maybe if I see it, I can have a better idea. Getting people to your website and turning into happy customers is what we do best. Oh guys, I look at a website like this and I can't stand it. It's so busy. It's just how, yeah, I don't like, there's so much stuff. It's like overwhelming. But this is a matter of opinion, and you know, everyone's different. So what does this do? So ClickFunnels, it replaces this. So building a website upon your blog. What? You're going to use this to even replace Shopify? And it does all this? This is too good to be true. And it does all this? Come on. This is ridiculous. It seems like it just makes landing pages for you, I guess, right? Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's expensive. It's not cheap. And so you just do all these things, eh? Interesting. So I think with WEBFLOW, for something like this, you would definitely have to customize the solution tailored to what exactly it is that you need or whatever your client needs. Because yeah, you can do all of this stuff in WEBFLOW. You just have to build it. I guess with this one, they have some stuff that's already kind of pre-built. So I guess going back to your question, a great one would be how to build an actual funnel using WEBFLOW. Yeah, I think this is, there's a 9-figure company, well known in the marketing space. Yeah, I don't doubt it at all. I heard the name before. It sounds funny. It sounds very familiar, but I guess I've never even just visited their website. But I bet I've seen so many websites that are just using their template, which is why this looks so familiar. Wow, these guys do a lot of stuff. But at the under the hood of everything, it really is just some type of like website, e-commerce, whatever builder that allows you to build these things, you know, without writing code, right? Especially if it's saying it's replacing WordPress, it's replacing Wix, Shopify, Kajabi. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. That does a lot of stuff. And then it even replaces MailChimp and SendGrid. That's interesting. So they even have a place where you can send out emails, or do you have to connect? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah, with you can easily make multiple step funnels from watching a demo and collecting info. Yeah. But then doing that in WEBFLOW. Yeah. I guess you just have to do something super, super custom. I think something like this, if I would ever do anything like this, it would probably be more of a course kind of put together. It's like, hey, let's build a ClickFunnel type website using WEBFLOW, and we'll learn all the different tools and how we can make all these different connections. And then you maybe just provide that finished product as a template where people can just download. That's probably, that's kind of what my gut is telling me initially. Of doing something like this would definitely not be just one quick video, but more like a course. That's what I'm thinking. Because yeah, building something like this in Webflow, for me, I love to have complete control over my stuff. So with ClickFunnels, you never know. If you have to be tied in to all of their tools, right? So with Webflow, at least you can have your list in MailChimp, or you can do your blog in Ghost. So you can have different options as well too. So I like that. But anyways, Rolando, greetings. How you doing? From Atlantis. Are you kidding me? One day we're at 48 degrees and at night we are drowning due to torrential rain. No electricity for 36 hours. Oh man. Oh, that's brutal. I know what that's like. I mean, here in Halifax, every once in a while, we'll get hurricanes and we'll be without power for a couple of days or a day or two or whatever, depending on where we are. But yeah, that sucks. So, but maybe it's not as, maybe if it rains, then it cools down a little bit and you can go for a swim, swim down in the rainwater that pools up. You have a little impromptu swimming pool. Of course, I guess you don't want to swim in that kind of water though. Oh man. Anyways, hope you're doing well now that you got your power back on, and hopefully you didn't flood or anything like that too, because oh man, that would suck. So hopefully all is going well. Oh man. Yeah, maybe how to use Zapier with Webflow and how to automate things. Yeah, 100%. I must have written that stuff down somewhere too, because I do that like all the time. Supercharging your Webflow party with third-party integration. So that's part of it right there. I guess we can get even more specific than that as well too, right? So, maybe I'm just going to put this here right now. How to build a lead generating magnet like ClickFunnels. In Webflow. Put that idea down there so we don't forget. Right now it is 10 a.m. and we are at 36 degrees. Well, 36 is a lot better than 48, so that's like 12 degrees cooler. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Oh my goodness. Oh man, we're at a nice, like, what are we at? Stupid phone's not showing the temperature. It's like 16 degrees and it's like nice sun and breeze. So it's nice here. Yeah, Celsius. Yeah, Celsius. Yeah, no using Fahrenheit here. Fahrenheit is crazy. It's the most ridiculous form of measurement ever. Yeah, it's hot. Rolando, what was your car dash saying the other day? Was it like 54 degrees Celsius? Something insane like that? Oh man, that is so hot. You're frying some eggs on your dashboard. All right. How to build a lead generating magnet? Yeah. Okay. So. I guess we could just do introduction to Zapier. Zapier in Webflow. It's kind of tough. Just even me thinking right now about what kind of a video you can do when it's just a generic thing of like, hey, let's just introduce you to Zapier and Webflow. I guess you can just kind of talk about what you can do, because there's only a certain amount of actions or triggers, I guess, within Zapier from when something happens in Webflow, right? When there's a new live item that gets published, or a new collection item, or what else is there? There's not even very much. I can't even remember offhand. But I guess we could just go ahead and explaining them. understanding what you can do, right? Just yeah, teach people what they can do with it. So that makes the most sense. So yeah, I think like what America is the only, like United States of America is the only place that uses Imperial. I'm sure there's a few other places too that use Imperial. But here in Canada, we do use Imperial when we're talking about our weight and our height. It's like, oh, you know, I'm 5'10" or I weigh 100 and whatever pounds. But for temperature and measuring things, like in cups, you know, in milliliters and liters, it's like, yeah, it's all metric. And we should be metric. I always hate using, I usually measure stuff in kilograms and people are like, what are you talking about? I don't know what that is. Use pounds. I'm like, pounds is stupid. But yeah, in Canada, yeah, we're metric here. So yeah, and it's always kilometers per hour. So whenever Kevin, I don't know if Kevin's still here, but we talk about racing and he's, you know, running half marathons. He's like, oh, it's this many miles. I'm like, how many kilometers is that? And yeah, so definitely kilometers, meters, everything. Yeah, we're metric for pretty much everything, except for, like I said, yeah, whenever we're measuring things or whenever we're building anything, like with like woodworking or doing any kind of carpentry, whenever I do that kind of stuff, it's just everything is in inches and feet or whatever, which is super annoying. And then, yeah, and when we have buildings, it's like square footage. It's like, oh, my goodness. I don't need square feet. I need square meters. Anyways, yeah. Can I suggest how to make a reusable blueprint to save time in WEBFLOW? Yes. Yeah, if you have any suggestions on videos that you'd love to see or that you think would do well, like, by all means, just shoot them in the chat. Right. So I think that ties into how to make your own templates. So your own, you could say your own reusable template, and we'll say maybe like starter project. Basically, is kind of what that is. So we can kind of extend that a little bit to how to use how to correctly, there's no correct way, I guess, how to efficiently use a WEBFLOW style guide. And this one I'll say for this one, we'll take a look at the other style guides out there. Style guides, yeah, out there. For example, you know, there's client first, mast. Or these are, I guess, some more frameworks, but what's the other one called? Lumos, I think, is one. Yeah. So we'll look at those ones. And then, of course, we have ours, which we just call Pi for now. Create a clickable card correctly for usability. When you mean a clickable card, you mean just like a card on a web page that's like an informational card? Is that what you mean? You know what I mean? Like, oh geez. So remember, many of us look for very simple things that we forget how to do them on YouTube. Right. Yeah. No, that's super important to make sure that we always bring things back to like super, super simple things and very even like specific, like niche things. 100%. Yes. Like blogspot cards. Yeah. Usable components. And then here we can think about, say, you can create different shorter videos. Because, I mean, this will be pretty quickly. Well, I mean, they'll still be pretty long if you're developing the whole thing from scratch. So let's just say you can create different videos for each type of, you know, component. And like you're saying, cards. Well, let's put this here. For example, blogspot cards. Like a header. Footer. Maybe not so much. Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, where I got blog. Like call to actions. Things like that. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Oh man, we got a lot. Oh, geez. We got a lot of things here. I don't know how many we're at. So if we drill down here into like little things that you can do in WEBFLOW, what are like little things that a beginner is going to want to know? So we do have like little, so we can talk about, yeah, it's part of the style guide. I'm just thinking about like best practice. Oh yeah, we do best practices. Best practices when building websites in WEBFLOW. Because that's different than just building a standard website. Create frequently asked questions correctly so that it appears on Google according to schema guidelines. I don't know what their guidelines are, so I'm gonna have to learn about that. How do you create an FAQ? Whoop. So it appears on Google. Yeah, according to schema guidelines. Awesome. Awesome. How to connect your domain to your site? Domains bought outside of WEBFLOW, like GoDaddy or Namecheap. Oh yeah, see, there's little things like that that, you know, it's just like second nature to me. But yeah, how to connect? Oops. Does WEBFLOW even purchase domains? I guess, can you even buy a domain in WEBFLOW? From outside. Actually, you know what was really nice? I just, oh, they still can? Okay, that makes it pretty easy if you can do it there. So what am I saying? Oh yeah, I think it was in WEBFLOW. Was it WEBFLOW? Yes, it was in WEBFLOW. Let me see if I can bring this up here. I think we probably actually have it caught on, like, let's say on video, on camera, when we were working on this. So yeah, it's this site here. So this is the site which houses all of our components. And when we had to connect it to our site or to our domain, yeah, it was actually really easy. Because you just hit like the button, and then it automatically recognized that it was by Namecheap, and then it just says like sign in, and then it added the stuff for you within your DNS. At least I think that's what it did. I can't remember if I did anything manually or if it just did it automatically, but it was pretty cool. So, but still, even showcasing that on a video is still pretty important. But it's different than when it was you actually had to go into your DNS and update it manually. But the fact that it did it automatically was kind of pretty cool. Add an organization scheme in WEBFLOW. Okay, so I've never done that. So can you give me an example for what one of those one of those things look like? because that's different than like that's different than like a sitemap, or is that kind of like a XML sitemap you're talking about? If you could just let me know, then I'll be able to put an example for what to put onto the list here, or into the whatever, into this like task or whatever for doing this video. Because I've never done that before, and I know you're gonna, Rolando, you're just gonna be like kicking me constantly for not being up to par on my SEO game, which I know is a big something I need to work on for sure. So I'm just gonna throw it on here, or I wonder if there's probably some really cool things that we can build as an actual extension to WEBFLOW whenever it's dealing with SEO stuff. So I think that would be really, really handy. And maybe some other people have already done it. But I just have to look at the marketplace. I think WEBFLOW has a marketplace now where you can actually, I guess you can probably get some apps. Yeah. What does their marketplace even look like? Yeah, it's getting big, which is kind of cool. Let's just type it in here. Now I'm just SEO. Optimate. Lots of stuff. Video hosting for WEBFLOW. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, there's some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff here. Oh, Typeform even's got a stuff. Oh, this is neat. Anyways, now I'm going into the hole of thinking of the rabbit hole of thinking of what we can do in the future. Anyways, you know what? Even if it's like these 30-second videos, that's just something that someone who's never done before and says like, "Hey, how do I transfer an account?" Or you might see some text on how to do it, but you never actually seen it take place, and to see on both sides what it looked like, those are great videos. So, and then it's great for me, because if it takes a 30-second video, then it means it'll only take me, 30-second video probably could take me like 3 hours. The WEBFLOW editor. I mean, that's what I'm talking about here, but. So that's a good one. That's something that I've had to do. Yeah, so I did talk about stuff about analytics. So I think it was just like how to use analytics. But then, yeah, just, again, more easier to the point. Yeah, thinking from the beginner mindset. How to set up Google. You could have Google. You could have Meta. You have Mixpanel analytics to your website. Yep. So, and also you're saying what to track and what not to track for WEBFLOW. So we could almost talk about, you could say how to set it up. Maybe this is another video or not, but we'll just write it down. Analytics / conversions. Should you track, and which not to in WEBFLOW. I say Fathom because I use Fathom, which I love, so I'll throw that in there. There's a specific SEO app that's known in the WEBFLOW space to rank better, but I forgot the name. I think it's probably this one. Oops. Go back or forward. Probably this one, right? SEMFlow. I think this is a pretty popular one from what I know. So that might be the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, okay, right on. Yeah. Actually haven't used it. I heard it's pretty good. So I think I just need to buy it because it's only like $10 a month or something. It's pretty cheap. And I'll support these guys. I like the work that they're doing. Right. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks so much. I'll check them after the stream. But thank you thank you very much for sending those over. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. All right, I need some water. Okay. Oh, I already got that comment. Could be a great short video. About setting up analytics. For the site delivery. Yeah. Cool. Right on. Yeah. I think short videos to the point are going to be really, really good. And what I'm going to do is through all of these, when I go through everything, I'm going to see which ones I could make into like 2-minute videos. Like just keep them really, really short and to the point so that people can just get the value, get in, get out, have their question answered and then move on. Right. So like stupid little things where thinking about what people are going to be searching for that they're going to have an issue, right? Like, how do I animate this? Or I think Rolando, you were talking about this the other day. Like, how to create a back to top button in WEBFLOW, right? Things like that, where it could be like, hey, here's what you do, blah, blah, blah. And then it's super easy, right? And I could pump out these videos relatively easily, and if you think of answering very, very specific and simple questions like that, and it takes me like, 30 seconds maybe take a little longer than that, right? But it takes me a couple of minutes to just get the shot, do the actual work in WEBFLOW, record it, do whatever slight little editing, and then publish it. If you could do one of those a day, maybe obviously if you could do like 10 a day, that'd be amazing. But even just starting with one a day, it's almost like WEBFLOW quick tips kind of thing. I don't know. I think that would be really good. And then, they could be YouTube shorts. Yeah, I think, Brent, you're putting that in there. Yeah, they could be YouTube. You put them on Instagram, TikTok. You can throw them everywhere. So, lots of things to do. Create a WhatsApp button in WEBFLOW. So everyone's been telling me that I need to be on WhatsApp, which I'm not on WhatsApp. I don't know if that's because it's not so much of a Canadian thing, but it's more of an international thing. Well, international to not where you are living, but international to me. Because I feel like it's not as big in Canada. But that being said, it's not as simple. When you say that, like, what's the difference between that and just a regular button? Like, does it do something specific in terms of how it launches the app? I guess I'll have to get WhatsApp in order to figure out how to do that. Although I can't imagine it being very, very difficult. So I'm just going to put here, think about short how-to videos that explain a single, like a task, right? Right, so we'll probably, actually maybe we'll ask chat here in a minute. Probably help with that as well. Okay, optimizing, okay, we talked about that. How to start your freelance. So we did do some stuff about like business things. Creative business model, how to learn, how to frame a business around your skills. Right. Mm-hmm. Not much else. We could do something like, 5 reasons why you should start a web design development business today. A video explaining Webflow's pricing packages. Oh man, it's going to be like 20 hours long with all the different things you can have. No, I think that's actually a really good point though, in terms of figuring out why, like what you get for it and what the differences are between the pricing packages. Maybe we could say, talk of it more like a title. Understanding the different pricing options in Webflow and finding the plan that works for you, whatever, in your project. Create a mega menu in Webflow. Right, so you'd love that one. Yeah. Sure, it's the most confusing thing ever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll take you like, it'll be like a 3-day workshop. Mega menu in Webflow. Yeah, so, right. So we have a mega menu in our component library. So part of it would be, well, yeah, I don't know. Let's just go from scratch. Creating a mega menu from scratch in Webflow. But then we could also say in the video, we can start off by saying, let's just put this in quotes. Today we're going to create a mega menu from scratch. But if you don't want to learn how, and just download the project, then whatever, click here, whatever, to just download it or get it from the component library or whatever. So yeah. Oh yeah, explaining Webflow's variables, not easy to understand as a beginner. Yeah, for sure. And what I love about their variables too, which is really, I think it's pretty powerful. I still haven't tapped into exactly what we're going to be able to use it for, but let me go to a project here. Well, let me go to, how do I get home? View dashboard. Come on. Oh, I think I need to go. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Yeah, I can wrap up. Yeah. Man, sorry, my door was open. My wife was just standing there. I don't even know how long she was standing there for. I was just thinking that I probably need to wrap up here because we wanted to go out for a walk in not 38-degree weather. Okay, sorry, I'm totally at a loss. Oh, right, the style guide. So, or did I use it in style guide? I think I did use it here. Yeah, if you look at the variables, what I love about, so you can have like your colors here. And what you can do is like within another variable, you can reference another variable, right? So basically like you would in CSS. So it's really fantastic. So if you have like, for this one, it's text. And if you want to change your primary text to a different color, or if you want to just change the neutral to a different color, like you can it just gives you so much more flexibility to call in other variables to go into like another variable. So yeah, super, super powerful. But yeah, so let's put that in there. So understanding Webflow variables and how to use them effectively. Okay, Rolando, I swear I'm already confused, maybe because I missed some chapters, but I don't know what you're going to sell anymore. A course, the components, consultancies, or what? Don't presume to me that you have a pleasant climate either, or at least just to tell you that we have a pleasant climate. Yeah, okay. I won't say anything about what the temperature is here today at all. It's Canada. It's snowing. It's always snowing here. So yeah, okay. So I can just touch base on this here, and then I do need to take off here. So I missed some chapters. So where can I go to? So Rolando, I don't know if you've seen this right here. So basically what I've decided to do is I decided to kind of simplify everything in terms of what I'm going to be offering down to one product. So it's the Alex Hormozi and Leia Hormozi. I think it's, anyways, whatever. So they talk about this a lot. They talk about having one product, selling it to one person or one avatar, and through one channel, and that's it. So the product that we're going to be selling is Pixel Pieces or the WEBFLOW component library. So that's the one product. It's $249, and I'm always going to be improving it and adding more components or whatever. But that's the one product that we're selling. So that's it. That's all that we're selling. And so the person that we're selling it to are people that are new to web design. They have 0 to 2 years experience. They just want to learn web design because they either want to get a job in it, or they want to start their own business or improve their skills, whatever. They just want to learn how to do web design. So the beginner, maybe some intermediate stuff too. And then the channel that we're going to be using to market them is through YouTube. So what we're doing now is we're creating a list of all the different videos that we want to create that are specifically geared towards educating that audience on what they need to learn in order to become a proficient web designer. And of course, through that, we want them to be able to, at the end of the day, purchase our product, which is the component library, which will help them make websites and help them along their journey to becoming a web designer, developer, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're doing. So that's what we're selling anymore. And all this course, when I say a course and the videos, that's just content that I'm going to be producing and giving it away for free for people to be able to consume. So we're going to educate people on web design and web development, starting off with WEBFLOW. And the product we're going to sell from there is our subscription to our component library. Well, not a subscription, it's just a one-time purchase. So that's the plan. So that's what we're doing. Super, super simple. So hopefully, I mean, the plan is that that's going to simplify everything in terms of what are we doing? Is what we're doing going to help us make money? And is what we're doing reaching the right types of people? So yeah. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully that clarifies that. But yeah, I do know I've been going back and forth. I tend to do that sometimes, but yeah, it's kind of figuring out how to land on the right market. So a couple of things here from Brent that just came in here. Figma to WEBFLOW, yeah. And how to approach that whole process. Because there's more to it than just click. You almost have to think about how you're going to design something in Figma and then how it's going to be transferred correctly into WEBFLOW. So I like that. Basically, to make sure your Figma design looks identical to your developed site. And then I guess also, I'm not putting this comment on there. But you also want to know, make sure you have good class names as well too. So that's an important thing as well, right? So design is intact. Well, is faithful, faithful to Figma. Then also class names. Sorry, you can't see this. My head's in the way, but it's just typing in the description. Oh, no, you can see it. It's in there. Right. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay. I got to go. I don't want to get in more trouble than I'm already in. So, all right. Perfect. Rolando, Brent, thank you very much. Really appreciate all the support and all the all the suggestions. If you have any more suggestions, I'll probably put something up on Discord, or if you just haven't, just in Discord, just throw any suggestions or ideas in there, and I will be sure to just like basically add it to the list, and we'll put them up. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day as well too. Rolando, stay dry, stay cool. I don't even know what to say anymore. I just feel so bad. Right, and Kevin as well joined in, and Eric as well. Thanks for stopping by, much appreciated. And yeah, I gotta go. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again, and yeah, see you then.